Hello, BookTube. Cheers. This is an announcement video for a 2023 project that is the brainchild of Faith at Faith in Books. I talked back and forth with her. My collar looks funky. Yeah, I'm an old guy. Nobody cares. She came up with this idea, asked me to join in, and of course is asking other folks to join in. And that's Hornblower 2023, where we'll be reading the 11 Horatio Hornblower novels by C.S. Forester. And I was very excited to do this. I'm reading the Patrick O'Brian, Aubrey Mattern right now. I'm just about finished with the 6th and moving on to the 7th. But I came to nautical fiction, like many others, with the Horatio Hornblower novels, and also with the movies, the TV show. So love them, love them. I've got a really mixed set of them. So what we'll do is for 11 months, January, February, so on. Each month we'll read them in chronological order by the internal story itself, not in the order in which they were written. Okay. So that is the way I prefer to read them, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just getting up on my phone here because there are a couple short stories. I want to be able to tell you about that, but we'll get to that. So to help me, I'll also be reading at the same time books I've already read more than once. The first here is C. Northcote Parkinson's The Life and Times of Horatio Hornblower. We see this sort of thing, I think the most famous examples of Sherlock Holmes, where an author will do a biography of a fictional character. In this case, quite a talented writer, so that'll be with me. And then this beat-up old thing, I've got the Hornblower Companion, which is wonderful. They do a similar thing. Dean King did a similar thing with Patrick O'Brian that you might want to find. So, excuse me, breathed in wrong. I'll give you an idea what they'll have. That sort of thing. So these will help me bring in a little more detail. Now, originally I was going to replace all my old copies of Hornblower with this beautiful Folio Society set. And I did get the first one. There were 3 of these, and I never bothered with the other ones. And it's not because these books aren't really nice. They've got these nice covers. They're typical end papers. Are the typical folio production. I didn't follow through. Some of it's because the pricing seems to me to have gotten a little challenging with folio books, and but I do love them. So we'll start right out here, and I'm going to go in the order here they have. And the first is Mr. Midshipman Hornblower, and this is the only copy of this I have. So I'll be reading it out of this, and that'll be January. Some of these I show you more than one copy because I've got these weird collections of these things. The second one in February will be Lieutenant Hornblower. I've got this old little brown copy, and it's really the worst for wear. It's from 1952. These are really adventurous, quick reads, but entertaining. You don't have to know everything about the sea to read them, and yeah, they're great fun. So I hope you'll join us, and I appreciate very much Faith coming up with this idea. The next one is Hornblower and the Hotspur. That's number 3, so that would be March. Again, one of these older copies that I haven't replaced. Probably won't replace. This is copies from 1962. And then let's see, 4 is Hornblower in the Crisis. It's again little brown. And here's a period cover date published. that's sort of a nice list. You could always pause and take a look at it. So the period covered obviously be the way we're doing it. Date published would have been the alternative method. And so there you have Hornblower During the Crisis. Did they say who did the cover art in this? Because I like it. Jacket painting by Sam Bryant. Quite nice. You hear the trucks going by. There's a logging truck. And let's see. That was also titled Hornblower During the Crisis. So it can be Hornblower and the Crisis or Hornblower During the Crisis. The next one here is Hornblower and the Atropos. And I have quite a few of these paperbacks. Who did these? Back Bay. I like these. I had gotten rid of quite a few of them because I was starting to go to the folio, and now I wish I hadn't gotten rid of them. But here's a list here. And when did this one originally come out? 1953. So a little post-war there. So after the Atropos, we move right on to the Happy Return. And some of you will see this with the alternate title, Beat to Quarters. There's a list on the back. There's a little glare on this one. And then after Beat to Quarters or the Happy Return, we get A Ship of the Line or Ship of the Line. I got a couple copies of this, again in these Back Bay editions, which I like. It's also been some wonderful paperbacks, so you could probably pick these up, any of these up, fairly inexpensively. Here's an older version of the very same book. Look at that guy's eyes. Well, I guess you'd look like that if you had a cannonball heading for you, right? So, just have a list of the books on the back. That's sort of fun. Who did this? Should say right on the back, right? Grosset and Dunlap. So this one was has a signature from 1951. 1938, 1939 by Cecil Scott Forrester. And let's see where we're at here. Let me get this going here. Get the list. Make sure I'm not getting out of the line here. Ship of the Line. And then after Ship of the Line is Flying Colors. Again, in one of these Back Bay editions. And then the Commodore. Also Commodore Hornblower. So in my case, we have both. The Commodore Hornblower. And this really old edition, the Commodore. Sort of interesting. It has fun list on the back, not just Hornblower, so you might like to pause and take a look at that. I'll hold it up for just a second. Hopefully it comes with the, I didn't do everything backwards. I have done that before, where the letters come out backwards. The words come out backwards. This is Michael Joseph out of London, and this is Sixth Impression, 1952, but it still holds up. And so there we have that. And then Lord Hornblower. So you see I have a lot of the Back Bay copies. And then Hornblower in the West Indies, which also can be Admiral Hornblower in the West Indies. And you'll see that both of mine say Admiral Hornblower in the West Indies. The Back Bay edition, and then this wonderful old thing. A little bit of a snag there. These have gotten a lot of love over the years. This is a book club edition, which you can tell because it says book club edition. I got it for 40 cents. Boston, Toronto, Little Brown and Company, 1957, 1958. But again, that doesn't mean a whole lot. And that is the pile of books. There was a little piece here when I was looking at an article. Many editions of the, which one is it here? Let's see. Okay, Hornblower and the Atropos. Note, many of the so where is that? Hornblower and the Atropos. Admiral Hornblower, Crisis, and the Atropos. Okay. So this one we're going to talk about for a minute. And I'm taking this right out of the notes. Many editions of this unfinished novel include 2 short stories. One set when the hero is a midshipman and to be read after Sir Midshipman Hornblower. So let's see what that is. If they give us a table of contents. So maybe they didn't publish in this one. If they didn't, I will have to find it. Okay, and then, well, the second is set in 1848 and should be read last. Let me see. They're not going to tell me. So this fourth complete novel in C.S. Forester's 11-volume saga recounts the early years of Horatio Hornblower's captaincy. After a rustic canal boat ride through the Cotswolds with his pregnant wife Maria, and the junior Horatio Hornblower arrives in London to take command of the Atropos. She's a 22-gun sloop, barely large enough to require a captain. Yet her first assignment under Hornblower is as flagship for the funeral procession of Lord Nelson. Soon, Atropos is off to join the Mediterranean fleet's harassment of Napoleon, recovering treasure that lies deep in Turkish waters and challenging a Spanish frigate several times her size. At the center of each encounter is Forster's great sea dog, whose blend of cautious preparation and inspired execution dazzles friend and foe alike. So they're not saying that these 2 short stories, one set when he's a midshipman and the second in 1848, apparently aren't in this. So this is the fun of this, right? I'll do a little research. I'll get back to everybody, see if I can find a copy that has them. My other 2 in the folio, other than Midshipman Hornblower, is Lieutenant Hornblower and Hornblower and Hotspur. So neither one of those would have it, and perhaps it was in the other folio box set. So anyway, I'd like to thank Faith at Faith and Books for coming up with this idea. I'd like to encourage all of you who would like to participate. Just make videos giving your thoughts and stuff, or send comments with your thoughts. The books are quick, fun reads. I'm really looking forward to reading them again. I don't know how many times I've read them all. Enough so that it's time. It's been enough time since I have, so it's time now to do it, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you're all well. We'll put the hashtag Hornblower2023 down below so that you can find these videos and anyone else's. And have a good day. Thank you, BookTube.